service. I just gone and purchased a can of Coke, a muffin. You'll see from that little snippet I took before that we were going through Braintree. Just need to open the door a minute, pardon me. There we go. And then another one. Wish I had a third hand for this. But alas, here we are on something I've been meaning to do for years. A warm welcome to the CapeFLYER. Oh, did you count the first class seats as well? They were pretty cool. I'll give you a little more of a guided tour, a better guided tour when we get to Hyannis. But for now, a few snippets on the way, particularly past Middlesbrough. I am excited. I finally made it. I'm going to go and snack on a muffin that I bought on a train. Am I back in Britain?
That was her truck back when it was nice. It used to be nice. Yeah.
Station stop will be Wareham close, Wareham Station. Please be advised there's 2 places to exit, one behind the bicycle counter from the train and one at the rear of the train. We do ask that you please use those doors to exit the Wareham Station.
I thought it was just over the Fairhaven line.
Wareham Station. Yeah, but all the other stuff, it's so loud, I can't figure it out.
So you're getting the breakfast. So you're getting the breakfast. You're going to get off. You're going to get off. You're going to take all that.
Wareham Station.
You know what? You're going to go buy a meal.
We have the train. First stop will be in front, and the second stop will be to the rear. One station.
Let's see. Yeah, so it's spot where the girl got hit.
Oh, this is so
Before the
pretty.
next stop.
Go, guys, 1,000% we're gonna go see. Doesn't look on good though.
I'll show you. The tunnel, floating tunnel.
Intermodal Center right in front of us here. Opened in the very early 2000s, and you can smell the sea air, you can smell the fish and chips. Not exaggerating, you can tell you're on the coast, you can tell you're on Cape Cod. Oh, it's great to be here at last, it really, really is. And to give you a little rundown, if I can, about this place, about this service as well, because that coach says a lot. Allow me to explain. So let me tell you a little bit more about this fantastic service behind me, CapeFLYER. First started out in 2013, and its most recent predecessor before that was an Amtrak service that, funnily enough, was called the Cape Codder. It began service in the 1980s and ceased in 1996. It was a service not from Boston, but from New York, going along the Connecticut coast via Providence and then eastbound towards here from there. This service, however, started in 2013, so this makes this the 12th season of the CapeFLYER, and that includes the 2020 season. It did get affected by the passenger numbers who did ride the train, but they did offer a service in 2020, so it was a very welcome treat for the people of Massachusetts to be able to use and utilize something like this to have a vacation or a day trip from wherever they happen to live down to Cape Cod. The pricing for this train, I think, is very reasonable. The fares, return fares, go up to $40 for a trip from Boston all the way to here, or any of the intermediate stops. And that's another good point. The stopping pattern of this service typically follows what the Middleborough Lakeville line does, but just with intermediate stops before continuing southeast from Middleborough Lakeville. So on a Friday night, the service leaves South Station at 5:42 p.m. and has intermediate stops at Braintree, Brockton, new for 2024, and Middleborough Lakeville. After Middleborough Lakeville, the stations will be Wareham Village, Buzzards Bay, Bourne, and that. Sorry, gentleman on the phone. You're a really cute little dog. That's good. There's an adorable little dog down here as well. She's got a cute coat on. I digress. I'm sorry. We'll return it. But yeah, talk about me being distracted by a dog. But yeah, the fares go up to $40 for a round trip between Boston and any of the stations past Middleborough Lakeville. Doesn't have to be Hyannis. If you want to do a trip between, say, Braintree and Bourne, that's absolutely fine. Return fares are also as low as $8 if you board the train instead at Middleborough Lakeville. So the shorter journeys you are more rewarded for financially, but cost doesn't do a great deal here. I think no matter what, the price is worth it. This is a fantastic train, and I will show you inside in a moment as well. A new thing for 2024, a bit of luxury, a bit of comfort, and you may have glanced upon it at the very start of the video. I kind of think I'm back in the UK, because things like this don't really happen on a commuter rail service. So we'll head back on board and I'll give you a little bit of a better guided tour of what's on the train itself. Before I head on board, however, I thought I'd take a brief trip inside the terminal building here at Hyannis Intermodal. Buses, plenty of them this way. The CapeFLYER platform, which just came from, there we are. And from here, you will see that there is a Peter Pan bus stand. Peter Pan, for those not aware, is a local service in the northeast that connects major cities by coach. From here, you can go various places up to and including right to the end of excuse me, I apologize for losing my voice a little bit today, but services from here go all the way north as far as Provincetown. So you could in theory take a train from Boston down to Hyannis, and then carry on your journey right to the very, very end of Cape Cod. So nothing is out of reach here. This is a really well located place. It's right in the heart of downtown Hyannis as well. Hyannis, for those not aware as well, is a region, a district if you like, of the town of Barnstable. And it's just a lovely little place all around. The only place I'd been prior to today was Buzzards Bay once. That was back in 2020. And I've been meaning to come down here for so long, and I'm so glad I have done. So now I actually will take on board the train and show you a thing or two. See, everything's really well detailed here. It's excellent. Right, back to the train. Here we go. Here then is a full-on walkthrough of what we have on this service. Now, you'll see, as you will have done as well earlier in the video, to all intents and purposes, this looks and feels much like a commuter rail service, but this is entirely decked out with bicycle racks. And this is an excellent part of the world for cycling in. I didn't catch a shot of it on the way in, but there were a good 10 or so bicycles that were parked up in here, and everyone cycled straight off to wherever they were heading next. So that is one of our carriages. Next up through here, the absolute bog standard that you have seen many a time on normal commuting journeys. These are just standard seats, exactly as you'd expect if you were going to or from Boston. This one in here looks a little bit different. This colour scheme and everything is the same, but you'll see at the end here we have a cafe. And this train is blessed not with one cafe, but with two. There's even cute little tea commuter rail coasters here, which I think is lovely. And I'm going to come back here in a few and get myself a coffee for the journey back. And where I say there is more than one cafe, that's because this is really something quite special. This is, new for 2024, a first class coach. And I'm just going to take a moment to savour this, because they have little fold out tables, which means that in true comfort style, I could just put this camera down here. Voila! By the way, either at South Station or here at Hyannis, pick one of these up, either before or after your travels. This guides you through exactly what the times are. Like I said before, 5:42, train departs South Station, heading towards here. 8:20, we got in here just 1 minute late today. Great run for a 2+ hour journey. This train is going to be leaving here now at 8:45. I'm getting off at Braintree, gets all the way to South Station at 11:10. So this also works for people who are having a contraflow trip. Those who actually live on the Cape can go and take this train and have a weekend away in Boston. Weekend times, slightly different, and allow for much longer day trips. 7:45 departure from Boston with intermediate stops, as specified before: Braintree, Brockton, Middlesbrough, Lakeville. Gets to Hyannis at 10:18. There's your times as well for the intermediate stops between Middlesbrough and Hyannis. Leaving Hyannis at 6:10 p.m. in the evening, getting you back to South Station at 8:35. And all that from the comfort of a first class seat. This is crazy to me. This just feels like Britain. I'm in awe of this service, and I just wish it wasn't so far away from me. I would ride it all the time, I really would. This is grand. Good night. Had to get up. That is the second of the two cafe cars here. You'll see the first class seating behind it, where I just was. And then the rest of the train from here on in, once again, is much like your standard commuter rail fare. A double-deck coach here with your usual seating, tables. I'll try and nab one of those in a moment. And where the train is popular, a second bi-level coach is over there. No need for that tonight. The service isn't too busy, and it never normally is anyway on the back way into Boston. But yeah, back off again. This feels somewhat surreal, seeing this in a completely different place, far from home. I am well over 100 miles from my home in Leominster right now, and that feels strange to do on a weeknight. Be fair enough, it's Friday, but still, this train is excellent. I implore you, if you are looking for a trip to Cape Cod, Barnstable or otherwise, get yourself on board this. I highly recommend it. Take the strain off the car, take the strain off your feet, come take a ride. You won't regret it. So, that is my brief stop here in Hyannis, all done. And my first time ever on the CapeFLYER. Like I say, if you're at South Station or at Hyannis, pick one of these up, all the information you need on it. And for any more information, visit CapeFLYER.com and find yourself a trip away. In the meantime, I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the couple of hours ride back to Braintree. Thank you for joining me again on Royce on the Rails, and I will see you again soon. Take care for now.